Before I start, you told me Melbourne was flat, Brisbane and Sydney are popping, and you were right.
Yeah, mate, it's been good, mate. We're ahead of the trend always, mate. We're always setting the trend rather than following it.
It's going to be a massive market in the next few years. I mean, short-term rentals is going to be massive.
I can tell you what I believe about the Brisbane market, and we've got...
Hey guys, welcome back to Development Tank. We're on the road, we're in Brisbane, sun's out, weather's great, shorts are on, we're at the convention centre. It's been a fantastic weekend. In this episode, we've spoken to 3 expert exhibitors, buyer's agent, wealth creation advisor, and a short-term stay company, all doing amazing things. All these people are going to bring value to you and your property journey. So let's get into it. Hi, Shiona from Buyers Butler. You're at the Brisbane Property Expo. You got dragged along from your good friend.
My good friend, the mortgage broker. Yes, so Toy's here from Easy Financing. I'm sharing her booth, and I'm a buyer's agent working with Buyers Butler in Brisbane, specialising in Brisbane properties, investment properties and residential owner-occupier properties. So a lot of first home owners, a lot of dream home owners, a lot of downsizers. So they'll come and see me because let's face it, the Brisbane property market is really tight at the moment. And so they're going along to open homes, they're going along to auctions. Some homes are getting sold before auction, some homes are getting sold after one day on the market, and some homes are not even making it to the market. They're getting sold before they make it to the market. So I come in and help them.
So the need for a buyer's agent at the moment in the Brisbane marketplace has never been more important.
It's very important, and we are hot property at the moment. People are seeking out buyer's agents because they know that we can really give them that edge, and it's a game changer for people who are purchasing property in Brisbane.
Shona, do you want to talk to me about your point of difference? You know, we're all here, we're all at the Property Expo, lots of buyer's agents, we're neighbours, our booth's just over there. You seem really approachable, really likeable, but do you want to tell me what do you think your difference is? Compared to others?
All right, my difference with regarding to the pricing of a buyer's agent is I don't charge a commission, I charge a fixed fee. So you can see on this piece of paper that I've got right in front of me exactly what it's going to cost you. Doesn't matter how expensive the property is that we buy, it's a fixed fee. You can see it from the onset. And also I'm a boutique buyer's agency. I'm part of a larger brand, so I come with all the backing of a larger brand and a network of buyer's agents. However, you deal with me, I actually own my own business, and so I hold your hand through the process, coach you along, teach you a lot along the way. I'd go to the open homes with you if you want me to. If you want to go to open homes with me, you're welcome to come. And so it's a boutique hand-holding service.
Yeah, I love that because I think, you know, there's lots of players out there that onboard you and then you may be lost and you may end up with the apprentice, but essentially you're saying that you jump on board, you'll take them right through from start to finish.
Absolutely. Right up until they pick up the keys from the real estate agent.
I think that's super important because in a hot market, it's really hard, if you're only going to buy 1 or 2 properties in your lifetime, really hard to navigate a really hot market and think you're going to land something at the right price. Because like you said, the opportunities just evaporate and suddenly, you know, you could be the underbidder on heaps of properties and be in a market that just keeps moving and you're still on the sidelines.
Yeah, that's right. And it's stupendous the amount of times people will miss out and they'll be frustrated and they've been looking for a year and then they just give up, you know, because now they've been priced out of the market. It's sad in some ways.
So talk to me. This is a national podcast that we do, everyone tunes in. What's going on in Brisbane? When did this start and when's it going to end?
I can tell you what I believe about the Brisbane market, and we've got the Olympics coming soon, okay? So there's a lot of forecasts. Let's be honest, we've got the Olympics coming in 8 years. The government hasn't really done much at all. They actually are starting to purchase properties. We don't see any game plan from them. We're waiting until the next election before we can really get some direction. But what I can tell you is at the moment we don't have the workforce in Brisbane to be able to facilitate the structure of the infrastructure of the Commonwealth Games, of the Olympic Games. And so we're going to need to bring a workforce in, and the demand for property is going to go higher than it is now. And so all I can tell you is that things are going to get tighter in Brisbane.
I see what you're saying, and it's making sense. When did this start, do you think? When did people couple onto this? And are we a little bit COVID as well? Have people gone north to some warmer weather and get out of Victoria?
So we're not just a hotspot in Australia. As a result of COVID, yes, people realised that they could move to Queensland to take advantage of working from home, getting away from, well, we know what happened in Melbourne. And so they're moving to Queensland, but people aren't leaving Queensland like they used to. People are staying in Brisbane, and so there's a bit of a bottleneck happening with people staying in the area. So this, yes, has happened since COVID, and it's culminated into something that's very tight.
100%. What would your advice be to people that are looking to find a property, buy their first property, buy their next investment property, build their portfolio?
Yep.
Other than go with yourself, what's your advice for people trying to buy property in this market in Queensland?
I think for anybody, the first thing they need to do is have a plan. So they need to speak to somebody. If they can't clarify it themselves, they need to speak to somebody for a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, so they know this next purchase that I'm making is how does it fit into that puzzle that I have as my future plan for my investment portfolio. Okay, it might be a first homeowner, but are you planning on living in that property forever, or is this just a 2-year job and then you're going to rent it out and buy something else with your husband or wife? And so I think the most important thing is a plan, and then you can go and see somebody for your finance and get your mortgage approved. And then you need to educate yourself. You need to do the research in the property market, and you need to be willing to put in the hours and develop relationships with the real estate agents, because if you can show them that you're sincere, you're financed, and you're ready to go, they will sense that and they will be much more helpful.
I think that's fantastic advice. I think having a plan, having a structure, fail to plan to fail, as they say. But like you said, in these hot markets, getting known to those agents, and those agents knowing you're a real buyer, which obviously when you've got the advocate badge on helps. But yeah, if someone is out there hunting by themselves, make sure you make yourself known to the agents.
Yeah, they've got to make sure that the agents realise they're serious.
Amazing. Shiona, thanks for the chat. Well done. Good luck tomorrow, and good luck with it all, and ride this Olympic wave you guys are on.
Thanks so much. I'm looking forward to talking to you again tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Shiona.
Bye.
Here with Ewan Ramsey from Ramsey Property Wealth. Mate, we're neighbours again. We're neighbours in Melbourne.
We are, hey bro. Good to see you again, mate. They're hectic.
When we rocked up, we actually got internet off you in Melbourne, and you were amazingly courteous. And then we've followed you up here, and they've plonked us beside you.
Yeah.
So yeah, we felt right at home. Mate, how's Brisbane been? And you know what? Before I start, you told me Melbourne was flat, Brisbane and Sydney are popping, and you were right.
Yeah, mate, it's been good, mate. We're ahead of the trend always, mate. We're always setting the trend rather than following it. But no, mate, it's been really good. Brisbane's going well, as you know. The Queensland market here is very strong. Lots of incentive, lots of innovation going on in the area, and lots of money behind it to support it, which is leading to population growth. And with that comes all the opportunity for property, mate. So as you would know in your world and what you boys are doing, you'll be seeing lots of that stuff going on in the development space.
Yeah, 100%. And the time we've spent up here talking to different exhibitors, talking to the punters coming through, Olympics happening in 8 years, infrastructure that's going in. It's getting me pretty warm and fuzzy about this part of the world.
Yeah, mate, we're super excited about it. I guess what's really exciting about Brisbane right now is that it's still actually quite affordable. So for most investors that are in that 650 to 800 sort of price range, getting in and buying a market is producing quite an opportunity for growth, capital growth and yield at the same time. But we're really seeing some great opportunity playing a little bit of your space as that inner ring, right? And the changes some around coming with the council regulation around car parking rules, changes and things, making the old townhome development start to become a bit more au fait. And presenting some of that opportunity, particularly as the medium house prices start to come up on residential stock, those inner ring locations start to present some great opportunity around development. And we're certainly seeing a lot of players come into the market and now starting to want to get into that space, and certainly around figuring out how you go about doing it and what needs to be done, structuring-wise, debt ownership-wise, funding-wise, how to bring it all together. So great opportunity.
I feel like there could be collaboration here.
Might be doing a little bit of both stuff, mate. We do the planning, you do the expertise part. Works well, right?
100%. Sounds like a plan. So talk to us about your business.
Yep.
When did it start? It's your business, founder. When did it start? What is the core pillars of it?
Yeah, cool. So pretty simple. I guess really we're a property investment mortgage advice buyers agency firm. So we provide a full 360 wealth creation through property. We've been around for sort of about 5 years now. I started as a banker and finance and developer myself personally. Spent a lot of time in that space, understanding the nuances of property strategy and wealth, obviously, but bringing together that nuance of, I guess, debt structure, strategy, lending, as well as obviously understanding the complexity of property and understanding, if you can understand how to make those two things work, you can actually make a bit of money inside property. And I guess that's really where we formed out the basis of our business model. So primarily we do a thing called property portfolio planning. We work to this unique model of helping, everyday investors get 6-8 investments over a 10-year period of all shapes and sizes that we know over 10 years gets $2,000 a week passive income. We do that through strategically planning, and then we go through into the execution stage. So we have a buyers advocacy team that will buy property right across the country in line with the performance criteria that's been stipulated. So not only are we planning it out, we're on the hook for accountability and performance to make sure that we're actually doing
that part of it.
We can do. Yeah. Big part of that. And then obviously the under part of that is obviously the lending piece. You need all your people sitting at a round table when you're sitting down to do this properly. We've got a big saying in our business, you've got to know your role and play your part. Yeah. And that includes the client. Yeah. Client has a role to play that they need to be doing, and them going off and spending $100,000 on a caravan and not knowing about it will have obviously a detrimental impact to what they're trying to achieve. So it's a 360 collaborative approach, and it's something, I guess, as to why we're winning a lot of awards for what we're doing. Yeah,
100%. Well done. Wrapping up, someone's looking to invest, build a property portfolio, obviously other than going to Ramsey Property Wealth. Just a couple of tips that you'd give them that are looking to either start that portfolio or build on their existing one.
Yeah, look, I think the biggest tip is you probably really got to sit down and understand what the ideal outcome is you're trying to achieve, or why you're doing it in the first place. Every property you go and buy will have a great opportunity, but whether or not that opportunity is right for you and your circumstances, you'll never really know until you actually understand what it is that it's trying to do for you inside your portfolio. So big tip, we see a lot of clients that'll do that. They'll go out and buy one investment property, but then they're getting stuck because they haven't thought about the impact of what that's going to be for the next move of what they're actually trying to do. Very important, sit down and talk to a team of specialists, whatever that might look like, but getting the right advice is probably the best tip that I could give.
Love it. Education and get the right team on board.
Yeah, 100%.
Awesome, mate. Thanks for joining us. Good luck for the rest of Sunday.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
We're nearly there. Peace. All right, guys. We've got Cam here from Airkeeper, Brisbane Property Expo. Pumped. How you going?
Morning.
Mate?
How are you?
Good. We're neighbours.
Yes, we are.
In the booth, so we spent a good day with each other yesterday, and now we want to find a bit more about what you guys do. Progressive space, progressive company. Can you explain it to us, Cam?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's a pretty easy concept. So instead of you taking your investment property and putting it on the long-term rental market, we offer the short-term alternative. So generally we return about 20% more than the long-term rental market, and we manage the whole process for the owners. So just like a long-term rental, you'd give it to a real estate agent. We're also a real estate agent, but we only do short-term rentals. So we list the property across Airbnb, Booking.com, Stays, VRBO, a number of different sites, manage the whole process, do all the cleaning, change the linen, do all guest communications. We're on call 24/7, and we operate from basically the Sunshine Coast down to Geelong and everywhere in between. So obviously capital cities do very, very well, but also your regional areas, especially during your summer periods, can also well exceed the long-term rental market.
Amazing. So I'm a property investor. I've got a property that might be an area that people may want to, I guess engage in a bit of short-term stay and essentially contact you guys. You manage the whole thing, all the headaches, and are you sort of circa 20%, and that's after? Because my head goes to costs of cleaning, costs of upkeep, all that sort of stuff. There's 20% circa net.
Yeah, so we charge as a percentage 18% of guest stays. So we only charge you a fee if a guest is in your property.
Makes sense.
The guest pays for cleaning, so that's the other advantage. A lot of people think short term, I don't want to go in that space because you have people in and out of your property. But you actually get your property cleaned 6 times, 7 times a month, and you're not paying for it.
And done properly.
Yeah, and done properly. Yeah. And we also have eyeballs on the property 6 or 7 times a month. So it's actually a great alternative. And really for the owner, it's a set set and forget process. They do absolutely nothing. They're only in contact with us if they want to stay in the property, because it also offers that flexibility where if you live in Brisbane and you've got a property in Melbourne, you can actually come and stay in your own property for 2 weeks at no charge.
You can book it out.
Yep, you can book it out, or if you've got friends and family coming to Brisbane, you live in Brisbane, they can also book it out. So it offers that flexibility as well.
Yeah, amazing. We've looked at this in bits and pieces as it's probably become more prevalent, and I think the upside as another upside as a landowner is essentially, by the sounds of it, they don't really dive in and use the kitchen and stuff like that. They're eating out, they're getting Uber Eats.
Correct.
They're high level on the property. They're not like diving in and really sort of exhausting the amenity in the property. It's quite high level.
Absolutely, especially in a city like corporate stays and stuff like that. They're generally not using the apartment much at all. So, or the house, they're basically in and out. They've got business to do. So yeah, the kitchen doesn't really get used that much.
Yeah.
All of the other appliances last longer because they aren't used. And it really comes down to return at the end of the day. So with interest rates being so high, that increase in revenue and increase in net that the owner gets is a big draw card to our solution. So that's why we offer it. We've been operating for 7 years, got just under 450 properties in our portfolio already, but we're continuing to grow and expand the areas that we service.
Yeah, love it, love it, love it. So if I'm a property investor, it's definitely something that I can entertain. And like you said, a great point, interest rates have gone up, cost of living's gone up, everything has bloody gone up. So This is an opportunity. Maybe they're underutilising that asset and maybe leaving a bit on the table.
Correct, absolutely. We find that a lot. Is a lot of people just think automatically chuck it on the long-term rental market, get what I can get. Whereas this is probably more for your more savvy investor who really wants to maximise and grow their portfolio. We've got owners now that have got 5-6 properties with us, and they continue to grow as we grow. So it's just that different option. Takes a little bit for people to get their minds around, really, because it is lumpy revenue. You're not going to get the same amount every month, but overall over the 12-month period, we're confident that we can outperform the long-term market.
And I guess, from coming from our point of view, we're sort of property investors, growing wealth, all that sort of stuff. Mm-hmm. As you said that, it's helping them create higher revenue, putting them in a better position to maybe buy that next one, and then buy that next one, and buy that next one.
Correct.
And if you're playing this game in Brisbane, you live in Melbourne, you might have 3 getaways a year that you jump in your property in maybe months that aren't booked.
Yep.
What's that worth? You're holidaying for free?
Yeah, you're holidaying for free. You're saving yourself $2,000 or $3,000 every time you go away. And we also offer for those interstate investors or international investors, they can actually give us an apartment empty, and we'll actually go and furnish it for them. We charge them an upfront fee to go and furnish it. We're currently doing one in Melbourne. Investor lives in Adelaide, so he can't get to Melbourne. So he's given us an empty shell, and we're actually furnishing the whole property for him as well, up front, and then it goes live tomorrow. So we did that in 7 days. So.
Amazing. And then even, obviously we're Melbourne based, same as you, Cam. We're up here in Brisbane. They've got the Olympics in 8 years, in 32. Makes sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be a massive market in the next few years. I mean, look, there's already some hotels and stuff that are already booked out for the Olympics. So short-term rentals is going to be massive, not just for the Olympics itself, but all the infrastructure that needs to be built as well around Brisbane. Is we're already getting people inquiring about booking for that period of time so they can set up the Olympics in the...
Well, you're going to have an influx of tradies, you're going to have businesses, it's going to be a crazy amount of people in here and not enough homes.
TV networks as well. That's the other one, the big one that everyone forgets is they're here up to 3 months beforehand, setting up cameras, setting up data links, all that kind of stuff. So.
I get it. I'm on. Well done, Cam. Enjoy the rest of today, mate.
Thanks for the opportunity.
And good luck with it.
Thank you.
That's a wrap, guys. That's it from the Brisbane Property Expo. It's been a blast. Appreciate everyone from the network that's dropped in. Matt was there, Jeff, Belinda, Roslyn. I've just only named a few. I've forgotten a few of you, but really appreciate the support. Coming to the seminar, having a chat, meeting the team at the booth. We loved it. See you in Sydney. That's you, Fisher. Happy developing.